there are PSA analytics as well, which actually help you analyze what's there in the PSA. So PSA has these 6 KPIs as we had for the CFO Overview Dashboard. There is a PSA Overview Dashboard. You click on it, right? And what you get is these 6 KPIs, which is the bill rate, backlog, forecasts, total utilizations, remaining capacity, and the billings. Okay, so similar stuff in dashboard as we had for CFO, where you had your actuals versus the schedule, right? So as you can see, the bill rate, actual, and the scheduled, right? This is how it is varying. Okay, the backlog region wise, as you can see, affect region has this much backlog. The highest backlog is for the EMEA region. Then you have total utilizations based on month, right? Then you have bill rate based on month, and so you can have different kind of KPIs which are there, like the 6 KPIs we talked about. And let's take an example of one so that we understand it better. Let's talk about bill rate. So again, same, we just have to click on the view details button on the bill rate, and what we get is the bill rate by month, billings by region. Okay, so you can see here billings by account. So we have got this filter billings by account, and you can say how different accounts billings are happening, which accounts are giving you more billings, which are giving you less billings, right? And depending on the different billings, you can define your strategies in terms of which accounts to focus on, what are the different gaps in those kind of accounts, what is something that we can do to improve billings on those accounts, right? So analytics provides you a gateway to understand what needs to be done in future to make things better, right? So that is the whole purpose of analytics. There is nothing else to it, right? It helps you in better selling your product. It helps you in better marketing your product. It helps you better improve your processes, which you understand through these dashboards, right? And these dashboards are good because they actually help you visually see things, right? Rather than an Excel sheet where they're just figures and it's a boring stuff. Here you can actually see, and your senior management can see, like how the billings are happening by month, right? So in this case, the scheduled billing is going down, right? And then it again picks up pace. And as you can see, the actual billing is not matching to the scheduled billing, which was already there, right? So it's like 50%. It's almost half of what your scheduled billing was, right? So you can see like what is there, which we are missing, which we can actually do to increase the actual billings. So these are different dimensions which you can analyze depending on different parameters, which will actually give you an idea of what needs to be done. Similarly, we can see this backlog, right, which is very, very important in the projects. So as you can see, we have got backlog by regions. You have got backlog project status by month. So you can see which projects are red, which are green, which are yellow, right? So, and you can actually click on these projects and see where the backlog is coming from. For as an example, if you can see that if you select backlog by project manager, we can see this project manager, Jab D. Conning. This is the one who is holding a lot of backlog. Okay, so one of the strategies would be to decide and understand why this backlog is with this project manager and how we can actually reduce his backlog. Now there can be different ways to reduce his backlog. Either we assign his backlog to a different project manager, like maybe Pete, who has got a very less backlog. So we can move some of the backlog items to Pete, or to Denny, right? Or we can see like how we can actually improve the processes and efficiency within this project management, and maybe providing more resources so that his backlog is reduced. So this is the kind of stuff that these dashboards provide, which actually help you understand where the problem is, right? If you don't know where the backlog is coming from, which project manager is actually holding that backlog, you will never be able to resolve the issue. So I think these are the kind of things that you should be seeing in the dashboards. And there are different parameters to it, right? You can drill down further into this and see where the backlog tickets are, which tickets are not being worked upon, what are the reasons of these backlogs. So n number of possibilities and n number of analysis that you can do, right? By simply clicking on a dashboard and drilling down further into those dashboards. Similarly, it's a utilization KPI, right? So you can see utilization based on regions, which regions are actually utilizing more resources than scheduled, right? And so as you can see, Americas is basically utilizing more resources than it was scheduled. EMEA region is actually not utilizing so many resources, so maybe you can move the resources from this region to Americas, right? So this is one of the strategy that instantly comes to your mind when you see these dashboards. And to the senior management, I think this is very, very important to understand, because this is the only way they can understand what is happening in the organization. How is the project health? How is the financial health of the company? And that is the beauty of Salesforce, that of FinancialForce and Salesforce, that they actually provide you that kind of data where you have just one view and you can actually see what is happening by just looking into these dashboards.